So I start looking at her to say, yo, I got it. But as I'm looking at her, she looks into her purse, then looks at me and kind of shrugs. Like, okay, yo, what does that mean?
She writes, hey, I don't consider myself being a loser for having my first kiss when I was 17. Very offensive words from you. No one's in a good place on there. I write, oh boy.
1. Can play with your hair for hours on end because I think it's fun as hell.
It's the #1 thing that girls want in a guy.
Like, yeah, but that's like creepy.
Come play with my hair.
2. Able to listen to every rant you put out and give input.
I've only had one Tinder date, and they always say the people on those apps are kind of crazy, right? What you forget is that if you're on the app too, you're also one of the crazy ones. I learned that kind of the hard way. Story time. Okay, so here we have me. Post one of the roughest breakups in my life. And trust me, I got done dirty. So dirty, that's definitely gonna be a video on its own. But regardless, I was lonely, like big time. So what does someone who wants affirmation and attention turn to? Tinder. And Tinder was something I'd always half use, but not for real. Like, I really just go on there for someone to call me pretty, and then I could like go about my day regularly. The idea of actually meeting up with these people outside of validation always kind of made me a bit worried. The boy was sad. So one day while swiping on Tinder, I found a girl that was actually kind of my type, or I was sad enough at the time for her to be my type. Who knows? So I said, bump it. There's relationship potential here. I could be happy, distract myself with someone thinking I'm cute, and just roll. So we talked for a couple weeks, and I set up the meeting, and we'll just call this girl Olive. Now, first day advice, everybody, go to a place where you can go and get to know each other and talk. You want to see if you actually like this person. So no movies, no things where you need to be quiet. You got to see if this person is crazy or not. So upon discussing our options, Olive decides to go to the conservatory in our local town, which is basically this nature place filled with butterflies and trees. It sounds lame, but it's actually pretty cool. And so I'm like, yo, this girl's ahead of her game. Because I find doing the work I was supposed to do for me a huge turn on. I was actually pretty surprised she came up with a cool spot so fast in Columbus, Ohio. Like, the default cool thing to do here is go to the mall. It's like the #1 sign that there's not that much fun stuff to do in your state. But oh boy, I definitely found out why she had this place on tap. Oh boy. So we show up at the date, and I'm fitted out with the best stuff, and I wait for her. And wait for her. And wait for her. 20 minutes go by, and I'm like, damn, I swear, did I just get stood up to see some trees though? Who gets stood up to see trees? But she shows up and everything's cool. But that's check #1 on the list of okay, this date might not go so well. I'm a little wary, but just a little, so nothing crazy. So we go into the actual area, and to head in, there's a ticket booth. And there's a lady at the front and a gate. We went up to her and asked for 2 tickets because apparently it costs money to see like plants. And I'm figuring whatever, it can't be that much. I mean, we're just walking around a garden, it can't be that crazy. I asked the booth lady how much it is, and she says $40. Sorry, I think you read that wrong. There's an extra 0 that you added there at the end. Yo, $40? Hey, geez, Louise, why is it so expensive to look at butterflies, yo? If it cost this much, we could have went to the forest for free to look at some trees. I don't, like, I'm here on a Target salary, bro. Like, I don't, damn. That is usually up to the male to pay for the date, I feel like. And I think it's a pretty commonplace in most instances. So I start looking at her to say, yo, I got it. But as I'm looking at her, she looks into her purse, then looks at me and kind of shrugs. Like, okay, yo, what does that mean? In this situation, like paying for anything, I see it like getting invited to a party and being an introvert. I wasn't gonna go anyways, but it would have been cool if I had been asked. And with that look, I just felt a little used. Like, okay, again, I know it's commonplace to do that kind of stuff, but shuffling me to pay without me saying anything, I don't know, that was #2 for me. I don't know. So my wallet is $40 lighter, and the date goes on. And as dates do, we chat, and you know, the conversation is solid. She's interesting. I'm trying to be, it's cool. Nothing to write home about. It was chill, but not for much longer. We sit down this one spot in the conservatory, and this is when I finally hit. After a moment of chatting, and I don't know how the conversation got here, but at one point she says, I used to bring my ex here all the time. Bring up your ex? Okay, that's a little sus, but I get it. I mean, we all have our attachments. It's a Tinder date. We aren't the most premium on our mental space. We can work on that, that's cool. But it wasn't that shook me. She follows it up by saying, in fact, he broke up with me right here. And I cried. This definitely sent me for a bit of a loop. She deadass brought me back to the scene of the crime? Was this like subliminal? Like, is she that sad? I don't know, but red flags were popping up everywhere. The rest of the date was a blur because my mind was rolling. We finally finished looking at the trees, and after plenty of mental gymnastics on my part, I decided maybe it was best I just went home. I'm like, because I knew I was sad about my ex, but okay, damn, everyone is? Like this? Gotta make me think, I don't know if I should be rebounding like this, especially with someone who's also rebounding like this. I don't know. There might be smarter ways. After I got back, we engaged in the ritualistic post-date text, and I remember her sending me one message. I really liked hanging out with you. Hope you thought the same. And I never responded. Which really is a jerk move on my part, okay? But I don't know, I was kind of frazzled. This whole thing was like a big mirror, right? Like, is everyone on this app just sad about their last breakup? And I don't want to be like that holder for someone else. And she shouldn't have been that holder for me. And really now when I get on Tinder, once again, I just use it for ego boost reasons. So if there is a moral to be taken from this, maybe be aware of your emotions. This is quite the cautionary tale. But you know, dare I say it, the only thing less safe than sliding into an insecure person you saw at a coffee shop is sliding into some unsecure Wi-Fi you saw at a coffee shop.
So she said on her profile, like, something interesting about her, that like I had my most embarrassing thing. Like she wrote, I had my first kiss when I was 17. Right? That's whatever. So this is my opening line to this girl. I go, I had my first kiss when I was 16. Man, we are losers. That's fun, right? It's like, yeah, we're together, I'm bonding with you, you know? She writes, hey, I don't consider myself being a loser for having my first kiss when I was 17. Very offensive words from you. No one's in a good place on there. I write, oh boy. Apparently you do not get sarcasm. Okay, I'm sorry. And then beautiful Tiger writes back. The first time you sent a writing message without knowing the other person, sarcasm isn't the best way to start. Right, piece of shit. Alright, I understand your thought on that, but I disagree. And then you have to put in your profile, I'm doing with my life, ... right? And she wrote, finishing my thesis. So I write, what are you writing your thesis on? Communication? Question mark? Winky face? She goes, bye! And then I write, this has been the worst conversation of all time. I'm sorry you didn't get the sarcasm the second time around. Good luck on your search. She goes, I understood your sarcasm. Horrible grammar. The second time, but it was not a wise sarcasm. Congratulations, you made the worst conversation here ever. So then I write, so are we gonna hang out or not? She goes, I don't see what's funny, bye. All right, where are you going? I'll meet you there. And then she deleted her profile.
So let's whip out the phone and make this profile, shall we? So this is the picture of the girl. Oh, you even made a little bio. Okay, so Now, before I say this bio, just know that I tried making it the best I can to lure as many guys as possible. You feel me? So like all different type of categories.
He was like way too spot on.
So ready? Just a sweet girl who may be a low-key freak. Winky. If there would be a problem smoking the blunt with me or going on outdoor adventures periodically, it don't in my bag. I need me a guy who can treat me right as well as I can treat them. So I think I did a pretty good job.
A few moments later.
We already like swiped a bunch of times and we waited like 10 minutes for people to message and shit. So now there's 54 new matches. That's just new.
The mic's
New
like in
matches.
the way of the camera for me and I can't see it.
Okay. Should I start from the bottom, like oldest, or the newest? And then go old?
The newest. No, oldest to newest because, oh yeah, start at the oldest.
Alright. So, yeah.
Wait, what is it?
Are you my appendix? Because I don't understand how you work, but this feeling in my stomach makes me want to take you out.
What the f-
Alright, so that's not too weird. He tried to do pickup lines and shit, whatever.
I would never say that to a girl.
Okay.
Matt said if you were a chicken, you would be impeccable. I'm gonna use that one, Loki.
Oh my god, this guy wrote a freaking book. Holy shit. I did a good job, dude.
So Julio said, reasons to give this loser a chance and start talking to him. 1.
I bet he copied and pasted this from the notes and he sends this to every hot ass girl.
1. Can play with your hair for hours on end because I think it's fun as hell.
It's the number one thing that girls want in a guy.
Like, yeah, but that's like creepy.
Come
Like,
play with my hair.
2. Able to listen to every rant you put out and give input if needed. Alright, you have to be desperate as hell to be willing.
If you want to read this whole thing, just pause the video. Let's go to the next one. Alright, so this guy sent a series of messages. Like when I say series of messages, I mean like every day scheduled a new message at a certain time. Hard eyes. I like your picture. Beautiful eyes. Starts off pretty normal. I'm here to fulfill my sexual desires. How about you? Want to smoke? Or sit on my face? Kissy face. So it goes from someone innocent to I like your
Bro,
picture.
that last one had me so off guard.
Like, alright, just think about it. I like your
I
picture.
just popped a hemorrhoid.
Hey, I like your picture.
Thanks, man.
Beautiful eyes.
Oh, thanks.
Sit on my face?
Oh. Ahmed said, alright, so Ahmed said, holy eyes, with the emojis. And he said, what ethnicity are you?
That's racist.
Eddie? Go back.
Yeah, there's other people named Eddie. Alright, Salmon said, you look familiar. Didn't we take a class together? I could have sworn we had chemistry.
Jesus. Or Jesus. Or
Jesus?
Jesus. So are we stealing these dogs or what? No.
No, we're not. Jesus, we're not. Hello! Exclamation mark! His name's German. His name's German. What the
Trying to fucking attack me, bro.
Sheesh.
Alright, so Donald said,
Trump? Read it, dude?
Donald said, do you like Harry Potter?
What the?
Yeah, that's what he said, bro. He said, do you like Harry Potter?
With the little nerd emoji.